Do this right here on this plate, and you can see all of that coming out. Now that's the extract in there, and then there's seeds inside of the extract, and you can see intentionally living, intentionally eating, intentionally growing where we are. Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. Today we are here working on a super fun project. I am going to be starting my mother jar for vanilla. Now I have tons of vanilla extracts, and there's lots of different ways people use mother jars, and I'm going to show you after researching and making my own vanilla for the last few years, why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, and kind of my process moving forward. So I get my vanilla beans in bulk from Injury Vanilla Group. It's a co-op online. I have made a video before about making homemade vanilla extract. I'll make sure I link that below, along with the link for Injury Vanilla. And I love it because I can get it at a super affordable price. It's pretty much coming straight from the farmers, and it's at a co-op price. So I can get vanilla beans between, depending on the type of vanilla bean, like $7 an ounce, $10 an ounce, which is way better than anything you're going to find in a retail store. And the quality is amazing. So I have been having fun. I wanted to start the last few years, start trying different vanillas and seeing if there's ones that I like more than others. And I'm still working through trying them and so forth, but I wanted to keep each vanilla bean type separate, so I knew which ones I liked a lot, right? Which ones were my favorites. And so I have, like here, I have Indonesian in gold rum. This one's actually not labeled. I think it was a Madagascar bourbon cured bean. This one's Ugandan vanilla beans in silver rum. The one I'm working on right now out of this container was Papua New Guinea vanilla beans, which are a lot taller. And so when you very first make your first batch of vanilla extract, for it to not just be flavored vanilla and for it to be like a single fold extract, you're supposed to use 1 ounce of vanilla beans to 8 ounces of alcohol. That is just for single fold. Some people double that and make it a stronger vanilla so you don't have to use as much. So that would be 2 ounces of beans and 8 ounces of alcohol. And that's how you go for a year to 18 months, 24 months. That really depends on the type of alcohol you're using and the type of vanilla bean that you are using. Each one kind of has its own length of time. So what I have been doing is just pouring it straight out of the bottle and leaving my beans in it. And then what I did was I added in more alcohol once I was done using that. So I have a Mexican cured, which is probably one of my absolute favorite vanilla so far. A Mexican cured, Madagascar Mexican cured vanilla beans. And I just put, it's in a bottle like this, and I just put half the amount of alcohol that I originally put in there to extract it a second time. Now I don't really need to keep all of these that are the second time around where I can make a second batch. I don't need to keep them all separate. I think that that's the cool thing about a mother jar, is you kind of put some vanilla beans in there and some alcohol. It doesn't have to be all the same kind of alcohol. It doesn't have to be all the same kind of vanilla beans. And it adds in this complexity of flavor that grows and grows and grows. And 30 years down the road from now, it's not going to be the same tasting vanilla as it is 2 years from now, because it continually is growing and changing, and depending on what you end up finding that you like, then you have this, it'll depend on how complex it is. So if you only buy 3 types of beans versus 20 types of beans, your complexity is going to be different. So some vanilla beans have like a caramel note to them, some have chocolatey notes to it, some have more floral notes to it. So some do better in dark alcohols, some really need that light alcohol flavor. Some people use vodka, I use rum. Some people use brandy or bourbon. Like, there are so many different options out there for what alcohol you use and what type of beans you use. The rule of thumb for a single fold extract, though, no matter what type of alcohol, no matter what type of beans, it is 8 ounces of alcohol to 1 ounce of beans. So as I'm doing a second extract on these, and I'm going to create a very complex mother jar that is not going to be ready for a year or two, I am going to be doing basically 2 ounces of beans to every 8 ounce of alcohol, because I need to, some of the compounds of the beans have already been used up, and they have gone into the alcohol here and have created an extract. But there's only so much that this bottle of alcohol can take out. There's a whole lot of science behind it, because alcohol has water and it has the actual alcohol in it, right? So it depends on the proof of alcohol you have. You want it to be anywhere between 70 and 100 proof for your alcohol, which means if this is 80 proof, it's 40% alcohol. And so some compounds of the vanilla beans are going to break down in the alcohol. Some are going to break down in the water, and there's only so much that water or that alcohol can take out. And so there's still a lot of really good flavor in the bean itself. Plus I have the caviar. Now, most people are going to say that, oh, vanilla bean caviar tastes amazing and so forth. It's the beads you see inside, like vanilla bean ice cream and all of that. There's also people who say that the caviar absolutely has no flavor. All the flavor comes from the bean, which is kind of what I have been taught. And the only reason why the caviar would have flavor is because the extract soaks into the bean, swells up that caviar. So it's really the extract you're tasting in the caviar, and it's not the actual seeds that have the flavor. Whatever camp you're in, so be it. But it is pretty to add in some of the caviar into recipes. So I'll be able to still use the caviar out of these beans and in cooking recipes as it's still steeping. And then I will have these bottles of extract to use without beans in them for the next year or two while this sits and creates deliciousness. So I went back and forth on how I want to proceed from having these jars of vanilla extract already made and having these beans and how I'm going to go through it. Some of them are labeled, some of them I wrote on with chalk and it has been wiped off. So I have no clue how many ounces of beans were in here to start with. So I have my plan on what I'm going to do. I have my kitchen scale here. And these beans will have absorbed some alcohol, so they'll weigh more than they originally did. But I'll still have a good general consensus on how much these are going to weigh. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this little jar of Ugandan. And now these are clean. They've gone through the dishwasher. And they are ready to go. This jar hasn't been, this jar was started in 2021. Let's see if I can get it open. Oh man. Emily, do you want to try to open that one for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't break it though. Try not to wipe it off. Yeah. So this one's from 20. I'm gonna focus on this one. This had 3 ounces in beans in gold rum from December of 2020, and these are Indonesian vanilla beans. Now, you could do this multiple ways. You can take, if you can't do it, just leave it and...
I believe in myself.
I'm going to keep talking while you do that.
Okay.
So, I could pour this off and put it into a new jar, and then I'll have the beans left over. What I'm going to actually do, though, because I like using the mason jars for my vanilla beans, I have a clean fork here, and I'm going to go in, and I have this set to... Let me get it set to ounces. Okay. Go ahead and leave it there. Thank you for trying.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I have it set to ounces right now, and I'm just going to take them out and pop them into here. Now you can use these beans to make vanilla sugar or vanilla salt as well. I just take fresh beans before they ever went into the alcohol, and I make that. So I don't feel like I need to use these for that particular project. And I will say, I want to touch on why I use rum. My daughter has a gluten intolerance, and for some reason I get headaches when I drink vodka drinks. So because of me getting headaches and her being gluten-free, alcohol can have gluten in it. And everybody has their preference on what type of alcohols are their favorite. And there's going to be some of the flavor of the alcohol in your extract. Once it's really extracted for a long time, it's going to be super mild. But it still can be there if you're more sensitive to alcohol flavors or scents or whatever. That will still be there. But I would use an alcohol that you don't have problems with to make your extract, because it's for you and your household. So if you're gifting though something, you're making something gluten-free, you want to make sure you're using a gluten-free alcohol. So rum is made from sugar beets or sugar cane or something like that. No wheat. All right, so I have no more beans in there. This was originally 3 ounces of beans, and it is now weighing 4.4 ounces in the container. So that's just good for me to know. I'm going to go ahead and pop these straight into this jar. That means they soaked up a lot of the alcohol and extract, which is not a bad thing. Okay, I'm going to see, I got to figure out if I can get these out. I think I'm going to have to transfer this one to a new jar. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just transfer this one. So this is considered decanting. Beautiful. Golden amazingness. Look how big those beans are. Love it. I'm curious how much this was to start with. That's 7.2 ounces. But I have a feeling these beans soaked up a ton. And I could see me ordering, I think the biggest order I did was 4 ounces. I will show you really fast. I'm going to cut one of these open. I'm going to grab a plate. I'm going to show you the caviar that I'm talking about. These beans are super plump and they are amazing. So some people, what they'll do is they'll slit it before they even make their extract, so you get caviar in every single pour. Other people will wait and keep it in here and then either slit it down and scrape it out, or you can even cut off the end sometimes and just squeeze it out. So we're going to try, oh, it's already coming out. So I'm going to do this right here on this plate, and you can see all of that coming out. Now that's the extract in there, and then there's seeds inside of the extract, and you can see where it's alcohol and then the extract, so I mean, and the caviar. So this is gold. I'm actually going to put this back in that jar and not waste it. But this is gold. This is great for baking. So you can do exactly what I did and just cut that off and then put it in there. Because this has already been done though, I'm going to cut it in half so I know for sure that I've already done this one, and just pop that in there. And then I'll worry about pushing this in a few minutes. I chose this half-gallon jar because it was tall enough to handle these humongous beans. And again, these are full of alcohol, so that is going to help the process already. We won't have much displacement. I have some, I'll put it in this one, some extract left in that. All right, I'm not sure how old this is, what kind of extract this is, anything really. I'm gonna smell it. I forgot to label this one. It's with my older ones though, so I'm hoping that it's an older one. I think it is. Yeah, I think we're good. The only thing that's making me question is I can really strongly see the beans through here in person, but it's not super alcohol-y smelling, so I'm just gonna go for it. And again, these are plump and full of alcohol. So they already have different types of alcohol in them because I did all different types of alcohol. I've gone between gold rum, silver rum, spiced rum. This is a whole lot of beans, I'll tell you what. I again think this was probably 4 ounces, and they have probably soaked up a lot of weight in the alcohol. Okay, so that one is done. Which is amazing. So this shows 9 ounces. I'm going to have to look on the website where I ordered these from to verify. Because I thought my biggest order was 4 ounces. But that would have over doubled in weight. And I am highly skeptical of that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these in here. And then just add the alcohol that I have. And go from there. So I think I'm going to pretty much about say half the weight of these is alcohol. So that would be 4.5 ounces here. We had about almost 8 ounces on the other one. So I did 4, so that's 8.5. I'm going to go with about 10 to 11 ounces of beans are in here. And I'll walk you through doing that calculation in just a second on what I need to do for adding the alcohol. Now, in a year or two when this is done, what I'm going to do is pour off, decant out a good portion of the extract, probably about half of the extract, and put it into another jar for me to use. And then these beans will all have been their second time. So I will probably go ahead and do something else with the beans at that point in time. And then refill the jar, the remainder of the jar, because it'll still be half the amount of alcohol in here. So refill the remainder of the jar with new beans and new alcohol. And let it sit again for another 1.5 to 2 years. Now, I still have more vanilla extracts like this one I can't get open. I'll deal with that one. I have like 2 or 3 more bottles of vanilla extract that I could at that point do again the half amount like I'm planning on doing here, and half amount of alcohol, yeah, to the beans. So what I'm going to do now is switch this over. Okay, so I'm going to switch the unit to fluid ounces now. So I said we have about 11 ounces of beans. So if I'm going to not do the 8 ounces, right, I need to make it stronger per ounce of beans. So instead of doing 8 ounces of alcohol, I'll do 4 ounces of alcohol. So 4 times 11 is 44 ounces of alcohol is what I need to put in here. And so I've changed this to fluid ounces, and I have this Bacardi, and it is just white rum. I forgot though, I have brand new. Let's see where I am. Okay. So we're going to do 44 ounces and see where we are, where that puts us. Going to put us out of rum. All right, so that's 34. We're out of that bottle. And then I have some spiced rum. Like I said, we can mix. It's a mother jar. Mix beans, mix alcohol. And we'll bring that up. Oh, this is going to be like just perfect. I don't know if I could have done this any better without planning this. 44 ounces of alcohol right to the brim. I could not have planned that. And basically just a little bit of spiced rum left. So this is pretty much why I have alcohol on hand, is for extracts. We don't really drink a lot. I do a Christmas drink in September. I'll make that for Christmas. But other than that, that's it. So this is my new mother jar. I can put this away in a, I don't want it cold. You never want to put beans in the refrigerator or keep them in a super cold room. So you kind of want a warmer area in your house, or just a neutral temperatured area. And you want to keep it in the dark and just let it sit and do its thing and brew. And in 2 years, I will label this as mother jar. And in a year or two, I will come back and I will deal with this. And I think that it's important to note that if you are just starting out on your vanilla journey, to start with one of these. This amount of vanilla, I mean, unless you are seriously home baking all the time, you're not going to go through that super fast. Now, because I bake a lot, and I try recipes for doing these cookbooks and things like that, I go through a lot of extract. But this will take me, I don't want to say for sure, I want to say about a year to go through a quart of extract. So right here, I have about 2 years worth of extract right there. Plus I still have other bottles. So it's something that once you get it started, and let's say you make a quart every year, right? You start a new quart. So you start a quart now, and in a year it'll be done. Hopefully a year to 18 months, maybe 2 years, depending on the alcohol and the beans you use. But you get that going, and then maybe in 6 months to a year from now, you start another quart, and then you start another quart, and you will slowly build your amount up. Now, what's great is when you have a bunch on hand like this is great for gifting. You don't have to worry about going to the store and finding decent vanilla extract that is actually made with real vanilla, or doesn't have a bunch of extra stuff in it. And so if you have not started doing this, this is literally a huge cost savings. You can get these big bottles on sale. Now this has glass, this is glass, so I could have just extracted in this. This one's plastic, so I would not extract in it. But this being glass, you can get these on sale sometimes, and they could be 15, 16 bucks. And then you buy however many ounces you're going to get for your beans and let that just sit. And this is, I want to say, let's see, if they were $10, that's probably $100 sitting there. But if I were to go, plus I've already used some, I already used half of this container. So if I were to go buy that in a store, and try to buy anything good grade like this, it's going to be way more than that for what I just made. And it depends on, again, the price of the beans you're getting. Different types of beans are going to cost more than other types of beans, where you get them. But $7 to $10 to $12 an ounce is not bad, and you can easily put an ounce. This had 2 ounces in it, so it would have been 2 cups of alcohol, and which there's a lot of alcohol in there. So 2 cups of alcohol and say $16 worth of beans. That's an incredible price for this. So I highly suggest trying it if you haven't. Mother jars are fun. Vanilla can be, people could be like, oh, you have to do it this way or you have to do it that way. I will say that if you want extract grade, that's the line. That's the minimum you want to do is 1 ounce of beans to 8 ounces of alcohol. But if you don't mind having flavored alcohol, infused rum, or whatever as your extract, then that's fine. Like, some people don't want it like as strong. Depending on how strong it is, if you do more than that, it's going to be, you just use less extract. And then there's a whole other worlds of paste and everything else you can go down. But vanilla beans are an interesting market. It's grown on an orchid, and each pod has to be hand pollinated for it to grow. It's a super high theft crop, and I think it's something that's a lot of times not fairly done. And so to be able to get it at a decent price, but also be fairly priced and fairly sourced, that's why I love this co-op that I order through. They have relationships with the farms, and it's just neat. So know where you're getting your stuff from, and try to make something new at home. Start a mother jar. It will be fun. So in 2 years, we'll come back, a year or 2, we will come back and we will be trying this out compared to some of the other extracts. And I will let you know if I like the more complex mixture of flavors or if I like them plain and pure, so I know exactly what it is. That's it. We'll see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe so you can see what's coming next. Let me know if you make vanilla extract in your comments or if you have started a mother jar. And we will see you on the next one.
Intentionally working, intentionally choosing, intentionally loving.